my talk will focus on the exploration of audiovisual cultural heritage. I'm from the German National Library for Science and Technology / Leibniz Center, Information Center for Science and Technology. We also have the function of a specialized a library on a national basis for subjects like chemistry, physics, informatics, mathematics, etc. And we are based in Hanover in northern Germany. In Lower Saxony, of course. So my team focuses on the development of infrastructures and tools and services for non-textual materials, for example, audiovisual media. And this becomes more and more important because the exchange of scientific results via audiovisual media has become an important part of scientific communication. So nowadays, scientific videos are often user-generated content because with these videos, you can visualize your research work. You can, for example, document what you do in third-party funded projects. For example, film or document your ideas, methods, and results, or what you really did in your project. You can make your research more comprehensible or reduce complexity with these films if you want to explain, for example, your thesis to other colleagues or to your parents or friends. And you can make your work more visible because with these video clips, you can, of course, share it online, on social media channels, and a lot more. And there's this one study from MIT which says if you have a visual summary of your research paper, this produces more impact on your paper, and your paper is read more often if you have like a video clip connected to it. Or as this MIT professor, chemistry professor, Mr. Whiteside says, with videos you can now describe dynamic phenomena which are simply too complicated, too complex, too unusual to put it in words and pictures. And we had in the keynote the different genres of films. Also in science videos, there is not the one typology of videos. There are so many different types. We have, for example, conference recordings, which we do here. We are taping this conference so that the talks can be made available later on. But there are also videos which are used for education, of course. There are filmed experiments, and also the way these films are done is different. You can have an interview. You can also have a stop-motion film. So there's a whole variety. But these videos in science, it's not a new phenomena, of course. We hold a historic film collection from the former Institut für den wissenschaftlichen Film in Göttingen, which represents 100 years of science films in Germany. And EWF has produced and distributed those films in universities and in research institutes for centuries, for decades. And these films have been awarded a lot of prizes at film festivals, and the films are in the collection are unique and original. For example, in biology, there are many early publications of well-known behavioral researchers, such as Konrad Lorenz, for example. And this is an excellent example also for audiovisual cultural heritage, of course. Here you can see a film from the collection. And the collection really has a focus also on ethnological films. This is a stock game from Portugal. And I've talked to Portuguese colleagues, and they say, well, this is not done anymore. So without filming these and making these traditions available on film, things like this would, of course, disappear. Let me give you an overview of the collection. We have 11,200 films in total from 1900 to the 2000s, and approximately 60% are digital already. In total, we have 33,000 copies. As you can see in the background, it's a lot of copies which are in our stocks. When it comes to subjects, it's 27% from biology. Ethnology is a big focus, as I said, medicine, technology, history, environmental studies, physics, and so on. And it's really still one of the biggest collection of scientific films worldwide still, when it comes to research films, university films, and documentaries. The best known sub-collection is the Encyclopedia Cinematographica, which this was a project which aimed at filming human, animal, and technical patterns of movement in very small units and make them available for comparative research. Here you can see, for example, patterns in craftsmanship, you know. And without documents like this, these traditions and craftsmanship would also, of course, disappear. Maybe you can recognize some of those. It's about butter making and a lot more. The oldest film in the collection is Life of the Tao Li Pang from 1911, where the ethnologist Theodor Koch-Grünberg filmed Indians in Brazil. And his film shows how they make corn, and also there's filmed a very early version of a badminton game, which is very interesting to watch this. So what we do is we try to digitize as much as we can to make it available, or to make these films available online. But when you want to make scientific films available online, there are a couple of problems going hand in hand with it. The first question, of course, would be where do you want to publish scientific films? There are maybe very obvious solutions, like, okay, I'm going to put my film online via YouTube or Vimeo. But these solutions might not be the best solution, because when, especially in scientific and also in educational settings, reliability matters, of course, a lot. And so YouTube and Vimeo might not be the best solutions, especially, for example, when it comes to metadata. There's insufficient metadata, of course, on YouTube. Also, when it comes to reuse, there are not enough license information, so you don't know what you're allowed to do with the films. And also, if you want to cite these films, it's really difficult to have a sustainable version of how to cite films, especially when it comes to how do I cite a segment or a single second in a video. It's just not possible. And the long-term accessibility is, of course, not guaranteed on YouTube. And also when it comes to the backlinking of material which is connected to to this, like, for example, the research data or your paper, it's just very difficult. So when we received this collection back in 2012, we thought, okay, there is no solution out there, so we are developing our own solution. That's why we started to develop a portal for audiovisual media together with the Hasso-Plattner Institute in Potsdam. And this platform has been online since 2014, so this is our 6th year now. And it's basically a web-based platform for quality-tested scientific videos and to share your videos online in a reliable way. And we do not only have this historical film collection, we are also a pan-European aggregator and beyond for scientific films. So when your institution has a couple of films in those which could be interesting for us or for the users, then you can give it to us, you can share it with us, and we put it online for you. We have more than 24,000 videos right now online. The films are in English and in German. So I think we have 2/3 English films and 1/3 in German. The films are predominantly under open access licenses. And we have conference recordings, lectures, experiments, video abstracts, simulations, animations, so the whole range of scientific videos. What are our services? We are hosting those videos for our partners. So partners can either upload films themselves via a upload form, or they can give it to us. If there's a bigger collection, it might be easier to just give it to us. We use standardized metadata, and the metadata is openly available, of course. It comes in different standard forms like Dublin Core, Mark 21, and we also produce REF triples. Every single film is assigned a DOI, a digital object identifier, so that it can be cited. And we also use a technology which is called media fragment identifier, which is just a time code at the end of the DOI, so that a single second in the video can be cited. And we link accompanying material, articles, and vice versa, also via DOI. So it's also a reliable connection. We provide the embed code, of course, so you can embed the video in your environment. And all the films are digitally preserved in our Rosetta Ex Libris system. And we use legally compliant publishing practices, so it's really a license management behind it. And we, as you can see from the metadata, you can always check what license is behind it, what can I do with it, and so on. But beyond metadata, there is so much more in a video than just title, author, abstract, etc. It's, for example, the audio, which gives a lot of information. Then there are visual concepts in a video, of course. And there's a lot of textual information, especially when it comes to slides. There is so much textual information which can also help to find things in a video. And of course, structural informations, segments, shots, etc. So, and what we thought is that we would like to enrich automatically the metadata which comes with a video with some video analysis technologies. So what we do additionally to the metadata which we receive is we do a scene recognition, then do a speech recognition, and the result is, of course, a transcript. Then we do a text recognition, and the result also is a transcription of the OCR. Then we do an image recognition. So we have predefined concepts. This is done by our visual analytics research team. And then we map all the transcripts to an underlying knowledge base and extract the subject-specific terms, which then can be used, which you see on the right side of the video, for navigating in the video. Yeah, it's also indexed, of course, so that you can find films where your keyword is not in the title or in the abstract, but in all those additionally automatically extracted terms, which, of course, are then made available for navigation. The knowledge base which we use is the German authority file. And we use the subject-specific content, the subject-specific entities. So when we have a film from physics, we only use vocabulary from this database when it comes to physics. We have also a cross-lingual mapping here. We use the English labels from the DBpedia to have a cross-lingual search. So just some examples. Here are the video segments. The video segments have been assigned a time code. The time code has been, or the transcript has been assigned to the time code then. And for example, this word software is then mapped to the underlying knowledge base and extracted and then been used for the navigation. Also, when it comes to visual concept detection, this here, for example, is as you can see, a molecular structure. This has been annotated by us and trained by us so that it can be extracted and connected to the term molecular geometry and then used for the navigation and for indexing, of course. As I said, the visual concept detection is done by our research team, Visual Analytics. We trained 73 concepts from our subjects, which is, as I said in the beginning, chemistry, physics, informatics, mathematics, etc. So very specified terms. It's a classical machine learning approach here, and then you can the machine automatically identifies the concepts in the film scenes. Here are two examples. This is, of course, a car. Here is a chemical experiment, but we have other examples here which you can explore if you we will make these available online. So, for example, agricultural machines, chemical experiment, molecular geometry, rocket, etc. And maybe one last example what you can do, why this is an approach which can help you find things. For example, when you on YouTube, if you want to know something about inverted index, or as an example, you would not be able to find the place in the position in the video where you can find this. So you have to watch the whole 90 minutes. Otherwise, because you just don't know where, for example, this stop word thing is. On the audiovisual portal, if you type something in like this, and you pick, for example, this first film, it really jumps. Then you can jump via the red highlighted positions here under the video, or here on the right side in the navigation. You can really jump to the second in the video where this word, your keyword, is located. So when you want to explore our historical film collection and all the other scientific videos, check out our audiovisual portal and just play around with it. Try to, find things in the video or concepts in the video. And also, if you have interesting films for us when it comes to these science films, just let me know, and I'd really be happy to have a cooperation with you. Thanks a lot.